I feel it's an epidemic. It's a big yellow bus with big flashing lights. There's really no reason for this.
Hoosier drivers ignoring the law and putting children in harm's way. Now they're facing more cameras mounted on school buses designed to catch those violators. Just this week, bus drivers across the state counted how many people blew right through their stop sign arms and flashing lights. We're still awaiting those numbers tonight. Last year, they counted more than 3,000 drivers who broke the law, and that was just in one day. The CBS4 Problem Solvers went out to see this issue for ourselves. Jill Glavin takes you on a ride tonight that bus drivers and police officers hope will get your attention.
Every day, thousands of Hoosier students board the bus. Their minds on school, work, sports, and friends. Not on what happens when they step in or out of those doors. But that's what's on the mind of this police chief every day.
How many more stops do you have after this one?
And it's all because of video like this. Proof that across our state, drivers are ignoring stop arms on school buses, putting our kids at risk.
I feel it's an epidemic.
Joe Mink signed on as Rossville School's first police chief in January.
Everybody knows Officer Joe.
He made bus duty his first order of business.
Every morning and every evening, there's a lot of people that's impatient.
Mink watches for a school bus to turn on its yellow lights, then counts
8, 9, 10.
how long it takes to put out the stop arm. Once the sign is out, drivers have to stop.
The warning was 19 seconds.
This epidemic, as Mink calls it, led to the unthinkable last October, when 3 siblings lost their lives in Rochester, Indiana, hit by a driver who didn't stop for their school bus. Rossville Superintendent Jim Hanna had already put cameras on most of his district's buses by then. This spring, he also changed the route so kids no longer cross the road when they get on or off the bus.
Once the summer comes, I will have all but one that have stop arm cameras. Now my drivers know that we take action, we take transportation seriously here at Rossville.
30 miles away, Lebanon Schools became one of the first in the state to add the cameras last fall, before the tragedy in Rochester.
I feel like everyone's in a hurry all the time, and they just don't want to take the time to actually stop for the bus.
Director of Transportation Becky Nichols showed us some of the video they've captured. You can see several drivers passing the bus, seemingly without a second thought.
This is just not acceptable.
We took a ride with the first driver in the 50-bus fleet to have the cameras installed.
I've written up 2 in this first one.
Dick Ferguson started driving a decade ago. He says this has always been an issue. Twice, he's even stepped in to potentially save a child.
I just reached over and grabbed hold of her shoulder, grabbed hold of her clothing and pulled her back.
Since word of the bus cameras has spread, Ferguson says he has seen a drop in violators.
Hello.
Partly because getting caught on camera makes it easy to take drivers to court. That's where Boone County Prosecutor Ken Eastwood and Deputy Clinton County Prosecutor Chris Vaughter come in.
Close to 50 tickets since the school year started.
In the 4 months this year, more cases than we had all of last year together.
Right now, they mostly issue tickets that come with a $100 fine plus court costs. But a change in state law could soon make this a misdemeanor or even a felony if you directly endanger a child.
People are more likely to take it seriously when there's the risk of jail instead of just paying a fine.
Back with Chief Mink.
There's a warning lights go on there.
We found drivers following the rules during our ride. A relief, but one that likely won't last very long as the battle for school bus safety rolls on.
I have grandkids that'll be going here, so I want to make sure it's safe for everybody.
You're probably wondering if your local school district has those cameras. The answer is if they don't now, they likely will soon. As of January, the state says they counted 400 cameras in 36 districts. The biggest issue is cost. Lebanon paid $44,000 to outfit all of their buses, and everyone, Bob, including the bus drivers, tell me that they do think it's worth the money.
It's such a timely issue, Jill, because legislators just passed a bill on this very issue. Refresh our memory. What does it mean for drivers?
But the biggest thing is it means harsher penalties. So if you pass a school bus, right now you'll get a ticket. You could face a misdemeanor or even a felony charge, and a judge will be able to decide whether to suspend your license. That could be 90 days. If you're caught more than once, it could be up to a year. The governor is expected to sign that bill soon.
It's great information. All right, Jill, thank you.